the percentage way, there's actually a safety play. You imagine that we didn't have to worry about the hearts, the clubs, and the diamonds. We just concentrate on the space. There's a safety play here, which is to cash the ace of spades. The point being that if everybody follows, you can then play towards the queen and the 10, and you only go down in situations where you always go down. And East has the king, the jack, and another one when the auction started. But if East had a singleton, West will have maybe have king jack small. Well, you're leading from dummy towards your queen 10. You will be able to make sure that you beat one of the cards played, and so you only lose one trick. So, given that you want to go and lose just one trick, definitely the ace is the best play. Second best, well, take two finesses. So lead the 9 and run it, and you might lose to the king or the jack, but you can repeat it, and the chance that East has both of them is relatively small, 24%. So you're quite likely to bring the contract, the one loser. It's not quite as good as cashing the ace. That picks up doubleton king jack on the right, because the ace will drop one of the honours. The worst play is to lead a spade and take a finesse, either the 10 or the queen, and then play the ace afterward. That is the weakest. It's still quite strong. It's somewhere up in the high 60s, I think, whereas the others are sort of above 75. But it's definitely the weakest play that you can do. And I did see somebody finesse the queen and then play for the drop on the next round. So sad to say, although it's a 70% play, it wasn't good enough on this hand, and there were better plays. Well, sort of there were better plays. It's all very well me saying there's a safety play to make sure that you only ever lose one spade trick, but wouldn't that be terrible if then we played it and lost a heart trick as well? So this hand is about finding out if we can do a safety play. So what we do is we cross to our hand, should have played the ace, I suppose, and try and, I don't think it matters whether I play the queen or a small one. You lead the queen, East won't cover. The idea of covering is to promote the lower cards, to promote the jack 10 into winners, maybe sometimes even the 9, but you can see that the cards you're promoting are in dummy, so there is little point in East covering, and you win that trick. So now you have no heart losers, no club losers, no diamond losers, so this is very definitely a situation where you do this safety play. Playing the ace just cannot only ever loses when he says king jack small or king jack to 4, because as here, if an honor draws where it's the jack or the king, once that's out the way, you will not be able to lose anymore. And if there were small cards, well, then you cross the dummy and lead towards the queen 10, only going down when he started with king jack and another. So when the king drops, you're actually going to make all 13 tricks, because nobody drops the king in some sort of joke. So you're going to cross over to dummy with a diamond, maybe a heart would be better. Sorry, I wasn't looking. And you're going to play a spade, and of course you're going to run it, and now you've brought all the spades in. So the safety play, which normally costs a trick, in this instance managed to gain a trick, but that wasn't the point of it. The point was that by playing off the ace, you make absolutely sure there's only one spade loser. Can you afford that play? Well, yes, was the heart. Was the heart is standard. If the heart had lost, I would be in a completely different position, because now I have to bring the spades in without losing any more tricks whatsoever. Now my percentage play is to hope that West has a doubleton king and finesse the queen of spades. It also picks up Singleton Jack on the right, but I would have to sort of resort to more desperate plays if the heart finesse had lost. Once it won, then I could play this cash the ace and see what it comes. I think first space then. Shouldn't you leave space in the dummy in case West has a Singleton king? Well, I'm going to do it later anyway. A dumb question. Oh, I suppose to get it right. Okay. Well, if I had played the space early, I would have to do something, and I say I don't see how I need to, and then play the ace without first learning about the heart. So I really do have to play the hearts initially to discover which play is the best play to make in the space. Okay, let's move on to board 2. If there's, I think first space, then hurt finger. No, let's try again. I think first space, then heart finesse. First, I'm not sure what first space is. Is it Aaron or is it Don't Your Name? I'm not quite sure. Oh, thinking, no, you shouldn't do this. No, not the heart. No, I wouldn't know what to do if I led a spade. What do I do? Do I finesse the queen? Do I finesse the 10? Find out if you can afford the safety play. Must be right. Okay, board 2. Let's walk to the table. Okay, so one neutral, which is presumably weak. Pass. Transfer to spades. Oops, no, pass is right. 2 spades. Pass. 4 spades. Okay, pass, pass. Okay. So, except for the fact it's a weak neutron, a fairly straightforward auction. It's only a 10 count in high cards, but with a 6 card space, we all would be bidding 4 spades with the West Ham. The only question is, do you want to bid it yourself? Because 4 spades also bids 4 spades, and transfer bid it puts partner in as the declarer. And the normal thing to judge whether you want to play it or whether partner should be played is who is going to get the lead. So if you've got one tennis sort of card with the king of hearts, but you've got 2 suits, diamonds and clubs, where partner might have a tennis, so it might be better if the lead comes up to partner. So I'm with West here. Although I do have 1 card I'd like to guard, your partner may have 2, so I would make partner the dealer and see whether that actually profits us in the play. Okay, so these are Jack of Hearts. And I've got 6 tricks in spades, 2 tricks in hearts, and I'm going to rough a heart. I think that's 9 tricks. So all I need is a diamond trick from the king or a club trick from the king of clubs or the jack. So it's going to come down to which suit should I play first, because I imagine I'll probably rough the heart at some point. And this is a very good example of a technique called card placing by assumption. The thing to notice is that if North has the ace of diamonds, you are always going to make this contract. Even if you lead a club to the queen of clubs and then you lead another club to the king and it loses to the ace, sooner or later you or somebody will have to lead a diamond, and if North has the ace of diamonds, you will make the contract. So the idea of card placing by assumption, well, actually it has 2 ways of using it. But in this situation where you're you're in a fairly good position. You just need one card right. You assume the worst and say, well, okay, let's assume that card is with the south hand. Then I might go down. All right. That's not the only way to use card placing bonus shot. There's another one where you're in an utterly terrible contract, and you can see you're going to need something lucky to happen in one of the suits. Then card placing by assumption says, well, assume that card is right for me, then what else follows in the rest of the play. So if it's a terrible contract, the placing assumption is that the cards lie favorably, and in a good contract like this one, you assume the worst, that cards lie unfavorably, or at least one card, the King of Diamonds, that lies in the south hand. So what can we do to improve our chances, though? Well, I certainly don't want to play a diamond. I've decided that I'm placing the ace of diamonds in the south hand. Yes, just like playing with robots. I like it. Okay, so it looks like, again, I can take a heart off at some point. I'm going to play on the club suit. Now, knowing that South has the ace of diamonds makes it slightly. This is a virtual spaces argument. If South has the ace of diamonds, he has 12 unknown cards, or 12 other cards, which might be the ace of queen of clubs, where North has 13 cards. So North is very slightly more likely to have the ace of clubs, but for that matter, he's very slightly more likely to have the queen of clubs. It's above 50%, given that South has the ace of diamonds, but it's still no choice between them. But there is one other thing that you can actually do, and that is assume or play. Essentially, we're going to take a club finesse. I don't know which one. You can actually make an end play here, because aside from taking a guess in the club suit, if South happens to have both of the club honors, and I'm assuming the ace of diamonds, he might just get thrown in if I go and play a club and take a losing club finesse. So, well, do I have enough trumps? Well, bit short. I need to cross the dummy. I need the club. I need to clear the hearts. Right. Okay. So let's unblock the. Okay. I think I'll save playing one round of trumps. Where do I want to? I want to introduce a dummy to the club. So I'm okay drawing one round of trumps. But if I play another, and then King Nine, and now I'm still going to go back to dummy. I think I should deal the heart now. It's unlikely this is going to be ruffed. South has led the Jack. There's probably some Jack 10. North didn't drop the Singleton Queen. I feel it really is most unlikely that I'm going to get into trouble here. And just in case South led a Doubleton, North would do. He knows his partner's got the 10, I reckon. Just in case it was a Doubleton, I'll rough high. Okay. So that'll pass off fine. And now I need to draw that last trump ready for my end play. Don't know what South will do. He probably doesn't want to give a rough and discard. I don't know. Maybe he throws a club. Who knows? Throws something, doesn't he? So we move the king, and right now we're ready for our play. So a club, and I really, there's nothing in it. If anybody got this far, they played the king. I'm perfectly happy what they did. If anybody plays the jack, I'm perfectly. It seems to me there's a slightly above 50% chance that North has one of them, but it could be either the queen or the ace. Let's try the jack and see how we do. No, we guessed wrong, but we were right to prepare for an end play, because South is thrown in. If he leads clubs, you can see he's setting up the ace over here. If he leads his diamond or a low diamond, he's setting up the king of diamonds. And of course, we roughed out the heart so that if he goes and tries that, we can diamond, we can rough with a spade with Captain Dummy, and of course now we've only got one diamond loser, so I can claim the 4 spade tricks and the king of clubs. So I can claim can I claim 4 spades? I've got the king of clubs. Oh, I don't have the. Oh, right. Okay. So. Oh, okay. But I'm okay. I'm going to lose. Oh, I shouldn't do that, should I? Undo. Right. I should try and. Doesn't make any difference. Okay. So I'm going to lose the king of clubs. They're not an idiot there. And I'm going to lose the 8 of diamonds. But I have 4 spade tricks, and I can claim. So this is an excellent example of this card placing by assumption. You can see that the 8 of diamonds in north, you just cannot go wrong. Sooner or later, even if you play on clubs and they lose, play on etc., sooner or later, you're going to be in dummy with a spade and you're going to lead a diamond towards the king. So you assume the opposite in these favourable situations. You say, well, let's assume that card is wrong. Then what other chances do I have? And although, I say, it's not clear which club to finesse, you should give yourself the added chance that maybe there's a throw-in. So strip the hearts. Notice I had to be careful. I had to play the hearts slightly earlier than I was comfortable doing in order to preserve entries. So I had a trump left the rough and discard option, but then I led a club and was rewarded when it turned out the South did have all of the 3 key cards. Was it there is a possibility? To be honest, I find these end plays in 2 suits very hard to see, Terry. Because this one, when I saw the hand, I didn't find it. I was given this by Colin to play beforehand. So I did see it. I mentally placed the king of diamonds in with the south hand. Then I worked out that therefore I was going to play the clubs. And then I worked out that, well, I couldn't see whether to play the king or the jack. But because south in my mind had the king of diamonds, if I now strip the hearts and then play the club, I had this additional chance in trump in both hands. Well, if you don't have a trump in both hands, you don't have a rough and discard option. If I had played off all of the spades, taking 2 rounds of spades, and then a heart rough, and then crossed on yet the 4th spade, anybody can just exit on a heart. It's no longer a rough and discard, it's a rough and, well, just throw away the 2 of diamonds or the 8 of clubs. Shall I show you if I strip all the hands? That would be export to the. Well, you only got 3 hearts, Terry. If I upload it again to the table. So this is 4 spades by east, isn't it? 4 spades. This. So they need a heart. And, right. So if you sort of do the sort of unthinking play, well, let's draw all the trumps, then we're safe. What would you throw? There's been no bidding. There's no trump bidding. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't throw a heart. That's for sure. I'll throw a club, I think. Okay, so spade. Okay, so now I say now I've got to go and rough a heart. King of hearts, and there we go. There's the heart rough. Okay, now I don't want to leave the club from hand. It works, I'm sure. Well, does it work? I can leave the jack of clubs and the king of clubs from hand, but that's not a very good chance. Leading towards them is the best chance. So if I go and cross to dummy in order to go and do that, then I've left now. This is no longer a ruff, it's a ruff. So this hand has to go and ruff it to win. But the discard is meant to be a discard which creates a winner for you. Here, you are discarding, but you're not creating. You can't throw a club and then ruff a club, and you can't throw a dive and then. What you're doing is just making a discard, which has no value to you whatsoever. So for a ruff and discard to work, you do need a trump in each hand, so you can ruff with one hand and make a useful discard in the other. And actually, actually, I disagree with you on this one, Terry. I only had 3 hearts in total between the two hands. It wasn't that hard. Once I think of end play, I could be towards the king of jack of clubs and I'm mentally placing the edge of that already. The south hand. There's only one heart I had to go and rough. So the idea that they will have a hard exit, I think as long as you've kept a trump in each hand, it's not that hard to see a ruff and discard would benefit you. Okay, let's move on to board number 3. Yeah, trump in each hand is not. Two trump. Wow, very old-fashioned doing. Nobody uses 2 no trump in a natural sense these days. I think 3 no trumps and has no status. Oh look, it's a strong no trump. I think it went. I don't know what goes on at Collins' tables. If he's new as a strong no trump, surely he'd have just jumped to 3 no trumps. So I think Western must have downvalued his hand and decided that these 4 3-3-3 hands are really only worth 1 point less than the total knockout point. Is it a weak no trump? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh yes, I can't count. It is a weak no trump. Thank you, Makiko. Hard to believe I could count once when I was in there. Okay, so the lead. Normally, unless there's indications from the auction, the lead most likely to set a contract is your 5-card suit. So I'm happy with this lead. And now we have to do a lot of thinking because this is a very awkward hand to play. If you count up, you can see that you can come to 2 spades, 2 hearts, 2 clubs, that's 6. And therefore you need 3 diamonds. And the best play in the diamonds, by far, is to take finesses against the north hand. So you can lead the queen of diamonds or the 10 of diamonds, and that will probably lose because north probably got 1 of the honours, and then you'll do it again, and then that will probably win because the chance that south has both of them is only 24%. Which card do you lead when you do the diamonds? The queen of diamonds is slightly better because south, they might just be 4-1 and south might have a singleton jack. So if you lead the queen, I think you could pick up an additional trick. You can pick up the whole of the diamond suit by leading the queen. But that's, once in a blue moon stuff. Normally, you're going to lead either of the top diamonds. Queen is slightly preferred then. And then you're going to do it again. And you expect to make 3 diamond tricks. And you have to do that because there's only 2 tricks in hearts, 2 tricks in... but maybe there's 3 tricks in spades. And then it wouldn't be quite such a rush job in the thing. So, have we any problems? Well, the 3 of hearts has a card missing beneath it. I think I mentioned to you before that if there is a card missing, it is a 5-card suit more often than not. If so, the oppositions, because they're going to get in, probably once in diamonds, probably once in clubs, maybe once in spades. We should try and play this to remove any entry North has at the finish to get in and cash his his heart suit if it is a 5-card suit. So one of the suits I can club is the club suit. If North has the ace, that would knock out the ace and stop me getting into the ace. But the worrying entry that North might have is the spade. You see, if South does have the king of spades, the spade finesse is going to win and North will never get in. So I'm more worried that the spade finesse is wrong and that would be the late entry to North's hands to get in and run the heart suit. If North has the ace of diamonds and the king of spades, I don't think there's nothing I can do. If North has the ace of diamonds and South has the king of spades, well, the spade finesse will win, and I'll still be in a position to keep knocking out North's entries and so on and so on. So my belief is that the spade king in the North hand is my biggest threat at the moment, and I should actually take that finesse. I don't know what you play here. The 9 is enough to show a Doubleton, I think. What it doesn't show is the 10. Actually, the 10 is right because you can only afford the 10 if you have the 9. So I think playing the Doubleton 10 is either a singleton 10 or the 10 and the 9, which might partner out in the. Now, I've won this in this hand because I want to go and take a finesse of the spade suit. And here we have the first variation that you can have in this. So I think it's probably easier if I play it through more than once. Well, I do think this is a very hard one. I see. I did actually see somebody start right. They won this. Let's follow with taking the thing. What North should do at this point? Well, I'll come back to that. But what the North did when they won was continue with another heart to take out the to set up their heart suit. Somewhat optimistic because they know from the 10 that partner's got a Doubleton, so I'm not sure what they think their entry is. And of course, the king of diamonds, they can see the ace of diamonds in dummy. But that's what was played, and best is to run it to the king. And now this is where the clergy. I don't want to mention that because she did so well the first time to immediately play the spade. But what you're going to now realise is you can play, if North has the ace of diamonds, you're going down. You have to hope, sorry, ace of clubs. If North has the ace of clubs, you're going down. And you can play the clubs any old time. You're just going to lose one trick with 2. But you have to play the diamonds more than once from the west hand to tie and take finesses and make sure that North never gets in. So lead the queen, and odds are I think the South will cover because who knows what that promotes. And now we hope North doesn't have the Jack of Diamonds, so probably duck in case he does have the 10. No. Now another diamond, so throw away a spade. And you can see, of course, that North doesn't have the ace of clubs, so we are going to, well, I don't know, see the king, jack of clubs, probably a spade, but can you ever really see, do I need to play that? We've got a losing heart, that's true, but North can't cash the heart suit. I have 2 winning spades, and I'm going to win and just start knocking out the ace of clubs. As soon as I got my 2 club tricks, I will also cash my 9 of diamonds and the ace of spades. So 2 club tricks coming my way, 9 of diamonds, ace of spades, so I can claim 4 tricks to make the contract. You're absolutely right, Smiley Cat. And that's because, well, as I said, there's loads of options in this hand. It's a very complicated hand. It's 3 in the front by West. So, pass 3 in the front. Pass. So normal lead to the 3. Yeah. And you take the spade finesse, and let me just do one of the other options first. A play that North might think of doing is to duck. Because after all, North might keep playing the spade suit, and maybe that's good, but it certainly isn't good to take the king and leave myself with no clear entry to my heart. So sorry, I played the 9 of hearts, but I should have played the 10 of hearts and shown it was a doubleton. So if North wins, he should realise that he's going to void himself of entries, and so very difficult to run the heart suit. So one option is to keep your entry, but now South is going to make his contract in a very direct way, because again, he's going to play the diamonds to bring in 3 diamond tricks. So already you've got the cover of the queen, so no problems. So a diamond back, another diamond, and so we said about diamonds, and yeah, and now we're going to set up partner's suit. I don't know, you could play the ace, it really, why not? It makes a difference to it. I don't care where I want to lead. Clear my suit, and now if only Declarer goes and plays the spades, I will get in, and but of course Declarer doesn't need to play the spades anymore. He's already got the diamond set up. He needs South to have the ace of clubs so that North doesn't get in, but he's just going to start playing the clubs as before, set up 2 club tricks, the ace of spades and the 10 of diamonds. It will be very risky to, because playing match points, you may well have a disaster here. Declarer may well decide to go and take the proven finesse in spades again, and then found a catastrophe is waiting for him. But if he's playing for teams where you just make your contract, he sets up 2 clubs, then cashes the 10 of diamonds, then cashes the ace of spades. So again, I can claim 4 more tricks and make the contract. So, as Malik says, why does it say that you can always defeat the contract? So let's have one last go at defeating it. Here it comes again. So pass, 3 no trumps. Pass. Either my heart. We win. We decide to knock out the spade finesse while we can. And the way to defeat it, I don't think is easy to see. But what North has to do is A, win, because otherwise West will just do his own thing in diamonds and clubs, and then play not another heart, because with partners 10 of hearts, which again I forgot to play a trick 1, with partners doubles and hearts, you will never get in to cash your heart suit. So you may as well give up on the heart suit and play to set up either a club trick in partner's hand or a spade trick. And actually, it turns out it doesn't matter which you play for. You can play a spade back, and if you use your um, um, double dummy feature, I worked out if I do it, you can't actually see it, so you need to do double dummy yourself. But if you look at the lead of the six of spades, you will see that sets it because there's going to be enough entries to set up an additional spade trick. And for that matter, if you leave the seven of clubs, it sets it because if you keep playing the club suit, you will set up an additional trick for north-south to go and set the contract that way. Well, I find, in fairness, this is a really valid point. Not so much for do I play a spade or do I play it, but I often see people who have their entry taken out and they cannot bring themselves not to set up their suit. It's often as clear as this. I mean, Southampton, I play ace and another heart here. My suit is set up, but I have no entry. Often they don't even have the king of diamonds. They're utterly void of entries, but nevertheless, all they do is set their suit up. Next time that happens to you, and they've taken out your entry, so it's all very well setting your suit up, but you'll never be able to cash it. Consider switching to a different suit. That is going to be the only way you can set the contract. And just like this hand, sooner or later, you will be able to. If it says lead queen of diamonds, should we not look at if minus from lead queen of diamonds? Should we not look at double dummy? Could you be a bit more expansive with the comment, please? Yes, the key to actually this is to Ratner. The key to the hand is if you take the king of spades, to realise you are dead. And I don't get clear whether you play a spade or whether you play a club, but one thing is for sure: playing a heart will do nothing. It will set up your suit, and you will never reach your suit. And that was okay, right. So you should. The mistake made by the brilliant person who took the spade for this early was to play diamonds from Dominic. That's very bad because it maximizes the chance that North is going to get in with the king of diamonds or jack of diamonds and then run the heart suit. So I found it rather sad, having brilliantly taken out the entry, they then played the diamonds in a way that gave North an entry to actually catch the heart suit. And yes, my big tip of the whole evening is when you have no entries, don't just woodenly set your suit up and then throw them away on whatever happens next. Try to set up part of the suit instead. It's amazing how often that happens. I found it very, very tricky to actually play. Okay, let's move on to something hopefully simpler, which is hand number 4. Okay. Okay, so this looks like a classic Robber Bridge sequence with 3 diamonds, double, pass, 5 diamonds, jump bid, and jump bid. So you've got ace, queen, ace of clubs. Okay, well, let's have a gamble here because 6 diamonds. And, okay, so I believe it says it's the king of hearts. So, well, no heart losers. Spade finesse. Not fancied in the sense that West has 7 hearts, so East is more likely to have the queen of spades. But not too likely. We should play the clubs towards the king and the queen. People do preempt with good suits and an outside ace. I'm not sure they should, with an outside ace and a good heart suit, they probably should have one heart. But I've seen people do it. So one of our plays is to lead the clubs towards the king queen, because I can discard the 5 of spades if the ace is with West. Draw the trumps at some point. Ruff the hearts, of course. It gains me 2 tricks when I ruff the hearts. And then I'm going to have to play the spade sooner or later. So, well, let's see if we can set up the club first of all, I think. So, here's the ace. Certainly don't want to duck that and have 2 losers. I'm not sure. I probably should ruff a heart here, but I'd like to ruff a heart. Often ruffing hearts, it helps count the hand, but sometimes it leads to end plays. I can't see an end play here, but I probably would ruff a heart in reality. Let's not ruff a heart. I suppose my instincts would be to ruff a heart with a jack and then try and draw trumps afterwards. But what do I do? I want to end up in hand, so I'm going to play a diamond to the dummy then. Okay, and now I'm going to do that. So okay, I want to come back to hand. Where do I want the entries? I want the entries to hand. So okay, so let's leave the 6, then I play the 2 to the 5 later. Okay, he'll throw probably a spade, and let's win with the queen. Okay, and now let's start with my club. So the 3, and the first one. He should dock this really. I mean, I know he's got 5 and there's 3 in dummy, but his partner's going to play the 3. This can't really be a singleton club, because then his partner would have 4, and any good partner would have a high one to indicate that there's maybe a 4-card suit on that side of the table. And since hope always stems eternal, it uses up some of the declarer's cards to retake the club finesse. So better play is to duck it and make the declarer think that things are going well, and then the declarer will indeed cross back to hand maybe. There we go, and play another club, and this is when you begin to realise, I think it's wrong, isn't it? Yep, okay. And we win the ace, and now we can play a club back. So, well, that's a little bit sad, really. Where do I want the entries to be? I don't think it matters. Okay. So, my club play didn't come off, so I can rock my 2 hearts. I'm going to have to play the spades. But before I do that, let's just check what everybody has. I think West has 7 hearts because he went preempted. I could check that if I have to by roughing one. I think West had 2 diamonds. He followed to both of them, do I remember correctly? So that's 7, 8, 9. And he followed to 3 rounds of clubs. So West seemed to have, I think, 7 hearts. I think there was 6, which is always something to check up on. And they don't, it's not on their card because they don't always do it. It's not part of their system. Let's find out about let's rough that and yep, okay. So as I thought, West did have 7 hearts and 2 diamonds for 9 cards and 3 clubs for 12. So West has either the last club or he has a singleton spade. Well, there's no point taking the spade finesse if West has a singleton spade. Whatever he has will drop. But my only chance is that he's got a singleton queen of spades or a singleton 10 of spades. Because knowing that his card is going to drop, I should play the ace here. And as long as he drops the queen or the 10, I know that's not queen 10 doubleton. He had a singleton. So now all I have to do with the 10, if that had been a small card, each would have the queen and the 10, and I would have no play for this contract. But I can now finesse the spade and emerge triumphant after all, claiming my remaining tricks. So most of this is do the obvious. Your big chance, well, I don't know, West preempted. One of your main chances is leading twice towards the king, queen of clubs. I did see somebody go to dummy in order to lead the king of clubs. That can never gain. I mean, whoever's got the ace of clubs is going to put it on the king if you go and lead them from dummy. Half the time when West has the ace, leading her club towards the king, queen will bring the contract in. So when that chance loses, then you're about to take the spade finesse, but before you do it, count the hand. And by then you'll have learned about the distribution. The obvious finesse is point West. West has a singleton. You need that singleton to be the 10 or the queen. Cash the ace, and if it's either of those two cards, the 10 in particular, you need to take a finesse, but even so, dropping one of those allows you to make the contract. But I say, most of the time, you should be doing all this lead towards the club, cross back again, lead towards the club again. And it's good playing as long as you know that South has another club. So part of giving count is very important. If you're playing with a stranger, where the 3 of clubs can show a 4-card suit, yes, okay, take the ace and lead the jack of clubs back. But I've seen situations where declaring uses up his only trump to go and lead towards the clubs again, and then lo and behold, those cards he's used up to cross to and fro were crucial for a different line of play. So I say, don't be afraid, though, especially when you know that you're going to be left with ace jack over the queen. As long as you have a reliable partner who's given the counts, then just make life difficult for the declarer by ducking a few times. It's good play. Okay, moving on to the next one. At least I'll rely on Makiko here, but I think it's 20. So 19 to 20, 2 no trump, and at least 1, probably 2 heart stops. And, well, that's an easy raise to 3 now, opposite such a strong hand. So the point I'm trying to stress, of course, is that in the pass-out position, it's no longer the unusual no trump. You have far too much trouble describing normal ranges, normal hands, and all the different ranges that they can have. So you need 2 hearts. Let me just click. Oh dear. Sorry. Let's go back to. It's supposed to be 2 from showing. I was thinking heart stop. Oh, go away. Harassment. I good. Okay, so the point is, you need the 2 note from being because normally you're a really strong hand, and you want to show are you 10 to 12, 13 to 15, 17 to 18, and you've got very few bids because they started with 1 heart, so you need the 2 note from bid to show one of those ranges. It's not an unusual. Okay, I don't know what I would be. I'm not sure I would be the Jack of Hearts from the North End because I'm assuming it's likely that West has 2 heart stops. So, and South Pass, I'm not sure he's going to get in. So I feel I'm actually giving away tricks by leaving my hearts. My own preference, they never sought to play in spades. My own preference is, since the Queen of Jack of Spades is going to drop, I don't know. it may be that this should just, I'll show double dummy for myself here. It makes no difference actually what I do, except as I thought, the Jack of Hearts lets in a potential overtrip. I don't see it as a great lead because I don't have enough entries to get in and clear the heart suit and then get back in and run the heart suit. But for all that, people always live in hope and lead their five card suit. Okay? So, we're going to come to a heart trick. And I'm going to come to two spades, that's three. I'm going to come to two diamonds, that's five. And so I need to bring the clubs in. And there's two ways of playing the clubs. And they are ace, king, queen, which is an above 50% chance of either. I know 3-3 is only 36.5%, but there's a chance of doubleton jack. And that actually raises the chances to just over 50%. But for all that, when you've got a suit like the club suit, you should never rush the player. I know it's probably going to be the crucial suit, but what I want to do is learn as much as I can about what the opponents have to improve my chances in doing the right thing when I eventually get round to the club suit. Beginners always play the club suit first because they work out that that's the crucial suit and they just rush to play it and find out what the answer is. But of course, without additional information, who's going to say that they make the right decision? So, the nine, well, I suppose it could be doubleton nine. The jack, unknown though, the queen, so I may as well play it. If it is doubleton, I'm still not really in trouble in the heart suit because South will play a heart back and I'll put the two in, and now he'll have no more to play, and my king of hearts will be safe. If North gets in, he's going to lead up to my king of hearts. So although the hearts look a little bit shaky, I'm really, really safe against them running the heart suit against me. Okay, so I want to play the clubs after finding out about the other suit. So that means, and I have a good chance in diamonds in it, a solid 35.5% chance that the diamonds are 3-3. North shouldn't signal here. Signaling is to help your partner make discards and decisions in what to do. Partner has no decisions to make from his initial bit of pass, so telling him about your diamond holding is going to maybe assist the declarer, but is certainly not going to assist your partner in making decisions. Now that's different to South. South wants to let his partner know what's going on to help North make decisions. So he would go and give a true card of a high here. So another one, probably looking it. And now, if you believe South, and I do, South is a sort of honest guy, but I suppose North might have. No, I see no harm in finding out what's going on in the diamond, so let's find out for sure. And bother, they're not breaking. In fact, I seem to have set up a diamond check with no problems. I can always throw something away. Hearts are safe. But by playing the diamonds, I have learned some fascinating information. I've learned that North, presumably, to lead the heart suit when I show the sort, probably show the 5-card suit. He's got a 4-card diamond suit. It's my belief is that North has only 4 cards in the black suit. So it's getting more and more likely that North is short in the clubs and I should be finessing in the clubs. But I don't even have to. Where should I win this? I'm going to win it the ace. I can actually find out even more about his hand by Paying off the. Okay, so apparently, if I'm right, it's got 5 hearts, 4 diamonds, 2 spades. The most now that North can have is 2 cards in the club suit. Maybe you've got another spade. You've got a singleton spade. So, but I have 100% line now. Let me play off 2 rounds of clubs ending in double. So I've got to play small. Notice again, South does not. I've actually seen people helpfully signal high-low here to push the clear on their way, but really you should just, try and be as unhelpful as possible. And, okay, now a heart back, and that finishes the count. I'm now absolutely sure he was 5 hearts, 4 diamonds, 2 spades, and 2 clubs. So now, instead of being a probably percentage line, it's now nearly 100% line that I'm going to finesse, cash my queen, and so make my 9 tricks. Sadly, I'm going to leave a heart, and I'll give you those. I shall play 0 more tricks. So this is all about counting the hand out. Yes, as you saw, clubs was the crucial suit, and therefore it's the suit you play last, not first. Do everything you can that doesn't allow you to go down to get more and more information. You might have done this anyway. By the time you start off saying, well, North has got 5 hearts and South has a singleton, well, the odds slightly now favour that North is going to be short in the club suit and South is going to be long. So you might have got it right, but why not play for that additional information that turns it from a 60 or 70% chance into a 100% chance? You think her another heart trick, would that be enough? Alan, why not Betis? Oh, uh, oh, uh, then it gives me an overtrick if he plays a heart back. Yes, I'll do it again too. Export, table. Right, the contract is 3 no front 5 west. 3 no front. Spurs. I lead a disapproval. Heart. Diamond, which I suggest docking. Diamond, which suggested docking. Wins and gleefully cashes his diamond. Now this is the position that you are on about, Makiko. Okay, now at this moment, North South have 2 tricks, and if he cashes the Ace of Hearts, that will give them 3. But now I'm going to do the same counting exercise of cashing aces, assuming you get played on the grounds that you always set up your long suit regardless of, right? But I'm going to do the same thing I did before of cashing ace and king of spades to learn he had a double to spade. So I'm then going to play off the king of clubs and ace of clubs, and having seen what 2 clubs not have, I'm going to there. So I can claim all these, but this time, as Colin said, all right. So that's why, and of course, he plays a spade because it's safer. Queen, you've got Queen and the Jack, and if actually Declare's got the 10 somewhere, he's going to catch Ace King and always going to make a trip with the 10. So he may as well play the Queen and hope his partner has the 10 of spades. If you play a club, though, well, you're playing up to a 20-point hand. What's the odds you're giving the finesse away in the club suit? So the spade is a safer exit without catching the Ace of Hearts to set up an overtrip. Okay then. Right, lovely. Let's move on to board 6. And these really happen, Colin, because this is one of the worst bids I've seen for a long, long, long time. You have here a potential slam hand because uh, mm, mhm, okay. Okay, well, it's sort of, mm, mm, but you know, to preempt with a fully stretched, fully point counter-working hand and a huge suit and a void is just a good way to. And six hearts, I think, is cold. Uh, oh, right. Okay, okay. Um, right, okay. Uh, seems a weird auction to invent. Okay. We gave you the lead of the ace of diamonds with a free choice thereafter. Um, um, I don't know. The jack of diamonds shows an even number and shows the 10, but not the queen. But we don't normally show jack 10 9, so you haven't thrown an honor away. Probably play the 4 just to show an even number. Okay. So, now what happens next? Well, I don't know. I play three of diamonds away in the two. Yeah, you will exert yourself. Okay. Right. Well, and the Lurdies, and I actually don't think there were any, should now continue with the King of Diamonds. So, um, because if you don't, and many people switch to the King of Hearts, you give the opponents an easy chance to make the contract here. You can draw trumps, and it turns out you need 3 rounds to actually do it. Bit of a surprise. And then another spade back, shall we say, and then I don't know, need a heart at this point since we don't want any random hearts lying around. And follows. Draw the last trump. Probably actually you better to cross the dummy to draw the last trump. So it's slightly better to need the diamond from dummy. And now West might go up with the diamond, but there again, he turns out to have ace king queen. So he's can cash it, and as you see, he's leading himself or herself with the ace king queen has led to an easy make of the contract. Um, where you give a rough in this guy. So I'm not sure how many people saw that. I kind of followed many, many hands all at the same time. So so let me start again, shall I? Yes, I will start over again. So that's what you should have done if anybody decided to switch to the heart, which I think many people did for some reason. Upload the deal to the channel. Right, okay. So the contract is after a pre-opening for spades. Pass. Um, um, I don't. I think. Okay. Let me tell you let's do the way there. It should have gone. He should see that there's significant danger if he keeps the king queen with his ace of hearts in dummy of being thrown in to go off this card. So it's not difficult, really, I thought, to cash all the diamonds before you decide to go and lead a heart to then see whether North has a Littleton heart and you have a trick, or whether South can bring in the club suit. Now, North is going to, of course, draw trumps and then take the percentage play in the club suit. And in that sense, this is a bit disappointing as a problem because given that there's 6 clubs missing, your best chance is actually to play West for the Queen and Jack of clubs in the same hand. It's true that clubs might be 5-1, and it's true that that one might be a singleton, and you should be playing the ace of clubs to drop East's honour before you finesse the other honour. But if East does have a singleton, well, the singleton could be the 2, the 4, the 8, the 9. The singleton is much more likely to be a small card than it is to be an honour, and so you should still be finessing against the 10 of clubs. But what's nice about this hand, and that's why Colin included it, is because if you actually start playing the hand out, you discover that not only did these have a preemptive cash ace, king, queen of diamonds, he happens to have 3 spade tricks. So that actually means with 7 hearts, I assume he's got 7 hearts, he did make a preempt after all, and 3 diamonds and 3 spades, he actually has 0 clubs in his hand. So not only is the finesse of the Queen Jack of clubs the percentage, it's now become 100% chance, and you can lead it, and you can see that even if they put the honour in, you can cross back to the Queen and finesse the ace and the 10 again to make your contract. So it's rather nice that you can do the counting and work out that the play you were probably going to do anyway is therefore the right thing to do. I'll say one more thing. Somebody had mildly misplayed the contract, and as a result, they'd actually managed to cash an extra round of spades before they took the club finesse. And the point here is, if there's no entry to dummy, they can't get back to dummy to repeat the club finesse. So the right thing to do is put the jack in, because declarer then has to lead away from hand, and you will make the queen of spades. However, sadly or happily, since it was Makiko who had the north hand, West decided to play low, and Makiko took her only chance for the contract, and so when there is no re-entry, don't be afraid to split your honours and reveal what's going on. They cannot get back to finish you again. If there had been an entry there, by all means play low and cross your fingers and hope they go wrong. Because if you play the jack, you tell them everything about what's going on. But with no entry, it's clear to put that jack in and make sure that you get a trick with the queen of clubs. So that they continue the diamonds. Well, I'll show you the full hand. I don't think I have to bid it. Export to the table. Right. You're leading against 4 spades, and North has bid 4 spades. North has a Doubleton heart, you very definitely should try and cash 3 diamonds and exit on the King of Hearts and wait for your Queen of Hearts. But the danger is that North has a singleton heart and can win the Ace of Hearts and run a heart. And the problem is that with 4 trumps in Donny, Declarer will be able to draw the trumps, and if you keep winning diamonds, exit on a diamond to you were counting on me. Oh, no, I was merely observing. So if you play the king, it's not so much you're trying to set the heart trick, which I'm all for doing. What I don't like, I can see the Declarer cashing 3 rounds of spades, and it's actually normal play before you do anything with the trump suit. You have diamond losers, lead a diamond, see if they do anything nice for you. So I thought it was utterly routine that if you don't continue cashing these diamonds, Declare will rub a heart, draw the trumps, and just play a diamond to see if he's given a trick. And sure enough, because you kept ace king queen of diamonds, East would have to give a trick. So that's why, and that's what East should see, and that's why East should make sure of the 3 diamond tricks. He doesn't want to be thrown in with them. And this is a hand that screams they're about to draw the trumps and throw me in to give a rough and discount. So, all right. Makika did very well, except she threw a diamond, hoping that would work for the thing. But and then she ended up in the right position, but and then they wested to split the honours, so she made the. You play with a blindfold. I don't think you should. Let's go down 7 folks. See what that's about. Okay, export this one. Doesn't look very modern. I presume she has a 20 counter, 19, 4, 7, 19, yes. These days, it probably was, yeah. Has 6 in a trump. Excellent. Okay, so it's very interesting what you lead here. What I'm thinking is there's the principle of leading has 6 trump is as follows. If you believe they did this on about a 30 count with a running minor or even a running major, you should go and make active leads to what you hope to do. Even if you got king Doubleton diamond, you lead a king isolated, you lead riskily away from your king of diamonds, hoping your opponent's got the queen, and then when they knock out the suit, the ace of their long suit, you're able to cash the second trick. So when they have a long suit ready to run, be prepared to make risky leads to set up your second trick. Second trick. Once they get their suit going, everything is probably lost. And then the other type of hand is where they've simply done it because they have a 35 count or 33 counts, and then the opposite is true. If actually the hands are all balanced, then probably they're going to have to play all 4 suits anyway. And so if you did have the king Doubleton diamond and decide to make a lead away from it, you are probably giving them a crucial trick on the lead, which allows them to make a contract. Now, how do I judge this one? Well, it's possible that South has a 6-card diamond suit, but the odds are he's just got a balanced hand with a 19 count. And you know that North doesn't have a long suit because you've got 4 hearts. So I would judge this hand where they've got loads and loads of points, but they're probably going to have to play all of the suits. And I have 3 for my a 7 count. I would expect partner to have very little on the other side of the table. So I find leading the king of spades is risky proposition because, I mean, yes, it says that the Queen of Spades, and if I'm going to get in on my Jack of Hearts, am I? Being able to catch the Queen of Spades, but the chance that I'm actually setting up a trick for the Jack of Spades is quite large. Remember, the opposition probably have most of the remaining points, so I would be fancying a much more passive lead. And since they did diamonds and hearts, I would probably be leading the Jack of Clubs as my choice. I suppose in his own way that's risky, but it's going to drop anyway to Doubleton. So I do dislike the. I think West hasn't thought it through. He just thought, oh, I got King, Queen to 5 spades. I'm in no trumps. I will set up my 5-card suit, and then when I get in on my ace of clubs, then I'll run my. You only 6-hand trump, heaven's sake. You only need 2 tricks, and setting up the Jack of Spades is not the way to do it. But here we go, King of Spades. Now, this is a great lead for South. If you look what he's got, 3 clubs, 3 hearts for 6, 3 diamonds for 9, ace of spades for 10. So he was, without this lead, he was going to need another trick of the hearts, which would require a 3-3 break, and guessing the diamonds, do I finesse or do I play for another 3-3 break? But the lead has very kindly set me up a trick with the Jack, so as long as I win with the ace, ducking would be eccentric. I can lead back and get my 11th trick, and now things aren't quite so bad. Now I need either the hearts to come in or the diamonds to come in. So anyway, lead back straight away. I don't know what to tell you. Really, most players will rise with the Queen. I suspect that's the worst thing to do because it probably corrects the count. The opponent will have all the tricks except one, and I suspect ducking is probably best. But what most players will do is certainly rise with the Queen. And again, what most players will do is set up their suits. Why not? I'm never going to be able to cash my suit, but let's go cash it. Okay. Terrence Reese commented, by the way, when somebody makes an easy discard early on in the play, it's usually from a 5-card suit. When they've only got 4-card suits, they normally take a bit of time deciding which is the best one to throw from. But when they've got a 5-card suit, it's fairly easy to take a discard. Anyway, so what am I going to do? Well, of course, I'm going to count the hand out. And first of all, I'm going to play the clubs. Do entries matter? I don't see it. So I'm going to start with, again, I don't think it'll, it doesn't matter. Do these. And another one. So, as I suspected, look, he's throwing his setup clubs away. It's so spades away. It's so sad. Okay, so he did have 2, so he had 5 spades and 2 of those. So at the moment he's got 5, 6, 7, 6 cards in the race then. So, well, again, the diamonds is the suit where I have the real choice. So I want to leave, therefore, the key suit to last. Either the hearts are breaking or they're not. So let's play the hearts and find out how they're doing. Here, so West not only had 5 spades, he had 4 hearts and 2. So West are now counted as 5 for the majors, 2 clubs, and therefore 2 diamonds. So for me, the contact has now become 100%. I need to find out what those 2 diamonds are and end in dummy so I can do whatever is required. So the third discard is to the ace. And the second card is to the queen to end in dummy. Nothing special has happened on the left. So that's all of West Diamonds gone. East must have the Jack of Diamonds, and I simply finesse against it in 100. Look, West has to throw away. I told you, people set up their suit, even then they're going to throw it away in the rest of the. You weren't there, Colin, but I commented how people without an entry will still set up their suit in some sort of optimistic hope that somehow it makes a difference. So, so I say, I suppose in a way, this you could make this. I mean, if you magically guessed the distribution and guessed the finesse the diamond and guessed having stripped all the side suits to lead away from the three of spades through the king queen, but you're not going to do that, are you? So actually, I just like the lead intensity, and what happened here I thought was absolutely classic of what is likely to happen. The fact that you had a wonderful strong holding, and you're not trying to defeat 3-no trump. You're trying to defeat 6-no trump. Okay, I'll do it at the end, Sanya. Sorry, Sanya wrote to me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You should really listen. I mean, if you have got one diamond, one heart, 3 diamonds, 6-no trump, that could be a hand where they're going to run a 6. Well, they got a 6-card diamond, so that's the sort of hand where making you need to set up tricks quickly before they run or set up the 6-card diamond suit. But this hand, and certainly anything hand to be even more clear, like 1-no trump, 6-no trump, whatever's got a balanced hand. Don't do anything silly. Okay, I'll play hand 6 later, Sanya, as you say, and just do hand 8 for this one. Okay, so this is a pass pass. 2-no trump, which I assume is the usual, and 3-no trump. Okay. Okay. The 3 of diamonds is the lead, I must say. 3-no trump doesn't give you many clues. Some people say you should try and use a major in here because they didn't try for a major. So it increases your chance. Yeah, yeah, but leading up to a stronger trump from a queen to 3 or queen double to is hardly what you want to do. And I see very little difference between the minors and the chosen of 3. Okay, so well, the 9 of diamonds might be the correct card. If South has led away from the king queen, what depends, I suppose, how strong the player is. Leading away from king queen to 4 diamonds up to a strong no trump is normally the way to make sure the contract makes. So, well, it is. I mean, I have 20 points. Oh, I go on to do my king queen as well. Oh, he made a trick with a jack. How annoying. Okay, so these 3 diamonds. So probably if he does have an on the 10, it could be just on probabilities. King queen is 1, king 10, and queen 10. Well, there's 2 chances of the 10 being the south hand when it's there at all. So I would certainly be playing small here rather than putting my 9 to maybe lose. And it pays off handsomely here when the queen comes up. I'm definitely going to beat that. I don't know the ace or the king of the next round, but more to the point, Once if he plays the queen, you know for sure that the 10 of diamonds is in the south hand. You don't know about the king of diamonds for sure, but when somebody has the queen 10 over the jack, they put the 10 in. They do not put the queen in. So if I lead a diamond back towards dummy and put the 9 in if necessary, I will very definitely force out any or win or force out an honor and set up a trick for my diamond. So that's why I played the ace, so I'd have another one to lead back towards the jack and the 9. But let's just count up what we're doing first of all. I am still not very good, is it? What is that? 4. Oh, because I've got to raise to a 5 count. I see. Right. I'm fairly flat at that. Okay. So I've got 2 clubs. I'm going to have 2 diamonds. That's 4. I'm going to have 2 spades for 6. I'm going to have 2 hearts for 8. Okay. So I need one more trick. I don't have it. I mean, there's all sorts of odds and ends. Like, there's a small chance that North has the Queen and the Jack of Spades. If I could lead spades twice and put the 10 in or cross back and finesse again, maybe that would generate an extra trick for me. But I've hardly got any interest in W at all. So although that is a chance, it's not one I'm likely to be able to use. Is there a squeak? Can I duck a club? And the count at the moment is I have 1-1 trick. For the count squeezes to work, you need to have all the tricks except 1. Somehow or other, I'd have to manage to lose 4 tricks and be in position for. And I'm not even sure what my threats would be. So although ducking a club that looks like I'm not actually going anywhere with that either. So let's go down to real. My only chance is I make a trick out of a 3-3 heartbreak or the finesse of the Jack of Hearts. So I'll discuss the hearts in a moment. Let me just set up my diamond trick. South will duck it, of course. I know this is going to be successful one way or the other. And there we go. Jackadizing my trick. So I'm up to 8. And they're going to do the club back. Okay, so now it comes down to what is the percentage play in the heart suit. And I suspect, although you can work it out yourself, I mean, I have seen it before in books. So again, Colin got me to play this down through. So I've seen it before and knew what to do. The percentage play is to cash the ace and king of hearts first, because you can always lead towards the jack. Whenever North has the queen of hearts, leading towards the jack, even with the ace and king gone, leading towards the jack of hearts will still score my 9th trick. Every time the hearts are 3-3, even if I've cashed the ace and the king, leading towards the jack of hearts, they'll still be breaking 3-3. But by playing off the ace and king of hearts first, I give myself a small additional chance. There's I played the king so I can end in dummy after playing too hard. The additional chance is that South has a doubleton queen. But I haven't lost any of my other chances. Even if that was a small card, I would lead the 8 of hearts towards my queen, towards my jack. Sorry, oh, well, I'm so busy explaining that. I think you're probably right. I should cash the jack of diamonds. Okay, so jack of diamonds throwing the club loser away. Okay. And now, well, I've already made the contract because the queen dropped. But to say, even if North had the queen, I would, and so North rises with the queen, and I make my jack of hearts later on. So definitely the way to play that, I've played the hand suit, see the whole suit again. Claim. Claim 4. Okay. Right, so the way to play this, if you just want one trick to maximise your chances, is king first, then the ace to be in the right hand, then lead towards your jack. It always picks up queen on the right side, it always picks up 3-3, but there's an additional chance of this queen. Everybody happy with that one? Because, oh, we're not finished yet, Caroline. We have to look at hand 6 again. Because there is a dim. Oh, so do I?